This is the Ludlow Porch Show on the Fun Seekers Radio Network, brought to you in part by Citrus Magic Odor Eliminator, by Alabama's largest year-round flea market, the Mountaintop Flea Market, and by McKinnon's Louisiana Restaurant. The toll-free lines are now open at 1-800-572-TALK. That's 1-800-572-8255. Or in Greater Atlanta, 770-205-2741. And now, here's Ludlow Porch.
Well, good morning, fun seekers. How y'all out there? It's just as bright and crystal clear today as you could dare hope for. It is absolutely gorgeous. You're kind of cloudy and overcast all day yesterday, but it is great today. So we'd like to have you jump in here and join us. Going to be kind of loose, going to avoid politics like it was on fire. You get plenty of politics every place else you go. I got to, Denny and I talked about this a while ago. Sometimes there's just not enough news to suit the media. And they are sending these ballots now to Tallahassee. And Denny would tell me that coming in there, following this thing in a helicopter and cars, the media. They got 1 million ballots or something going up there? They want to make sure they get there all right? Funny. 1-800-572-8255. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff today. And we're going to talk about something, I hope we can get some reaction to this, because I don't think we've ever talked about this before. Certainly not as a topic. We all have our, and I almost said crazy relatives, but let us say eccentric relatives, because crazy is not a nice word. Although it's very descriptive, it's not a very nice word. But we've been known in the South for many years, keeping crazy aunts and crazy uncles and cousins locked in the closets, and remember all the Gothic novels were written about that. Ever had a really an eccentric relative? Just one that was kind of a constant source of embarrassment to your mama and your daddy? We can talk about those folks. Might be kind of fun. The eccentric people of the world. We all got them. Most folks won't admit it, but we got them. We have my Aunt Jill. I told you my Aunt Jill story. My Aunt Jill would come to our house and steal anything that wasn't tied down. Yeah, nuts. She was not eccentric. She was nuts. I got a bunch of Aunt Jill stories. We'll talk to you about all of those. And you know what? I want to talk to you also about some of the songs. I was riding home from work yesterday, and I heard a Christmas song on the car radio. Just brought tears to my eyes. I guess the memories have come back. So, got any of those songs that bring tears to your eyes? Or some happy songs, like one we talked about, Zippity-Doo-Dah and all of that. A lot of happy songs. A lot of songs you cannot be sad when you're listening to. But with me, a real peppy version of Dixie. I just want to tap my feet. What do you think? We can talk about all of that. Jump in here and join us. Here's how we do it. 1-800-572-8255, 1-800-572-TALK. And this is not a commercial. I just want to tell you something I did last night. Coming back from, we'd gone to dinner with my mother-in-law, and came back by Burt's Farm last night. So we just pulled right in there and took the tour. The Appalachian Lights at Burt's Farm just keeps getting better every year. Something over 500,000 lights now, 35 scenes, and it just gets bigger and bigger and better and better. It's about 2 mile drive through there. Takes you about 20 minutes to really enjoy and get the full impact of this. But it is really something, and it's growing every year. And their motto up there now is enjoy an enchanting evening of illumination. And as we started to drive out, we didn't have time to stop for the marshmallow roast. All those big crowd of young folks doing the marshmallow roast, and somebody had them all lined up in in a half moon-shaped formation, and we're taking pictures. Memories that'll last a lifetime. Our number, 1-800-572-8255, Ludlow and Denny. And we're pretty loose today, except for politics. We're very tight as far as politics is concerned. But if you watch them follow that truck to Tallahassee, you just sit there and enjoy yourself. We'll be right back. You stay with us.
What's the difference between Cajun and Creole cooking? Well, simply put, Cajun food is more down-to-earth local ingredients aggressively seasoned, and Creole is more of an uptown New Orleans fare. But what they have in common is that McKinnon's Louisiana restaurant cannot be beat when it comes to proper preparation and presentation. Enjoy quiet, white tablecloth dining or the more casual McKinnon's Grill Room. When you're in Atlanta, Georgia, the best Cajun and Creole cooking is at McKinnon's Louisiana restaurant, Maple Drive at Peachtree Road.
Boy, are we having fun now, or what? 1-800-572-8255. As we go to Dexter, Georgia, and talk to my friend Ted. Hello, Theodore.
Hi, good morning there, Ludlow.
How you doing?
Fine, how you?
How was your birthday celebration wind up yesterday?
Oh, it was a still winder last night.
That's good.
Yeah, we Dolene burnt the chicken.
Did she?
But you ever had a squash, zucchini, and green bean casserole all mixed together?
No. Number one, I don't care much for casseroles, and zucchini doesn't have much taste to me.
Well,
how about you?
This was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. She surprised me with it,
well.
you know. And, she threw a couple of shots of my favorite whiskey in there, mixed in with it.
She didn't care what else was in there. Don't give me that, Ted. Happy birthday, Ted. Look.
That's right. Oh, me. Well, you was talking about these ballots, or ballets, I think is the way the inspector'd call them, that they're toting up there to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Of course, Gilbert Dean got all excited when he heard they was doing that, going to have a convoy. He got up early this morning, and he got him the big old bowl of Rice Krispies and his bag of Cheetos and his 82-ounce Coca-Cola. Set it in the TV tray there in front of the television. He was all ready to watch this thing, and all of a sudden I heard him cussing and slamming stuff around and hollering, "Where's the bandit? Where's the bandit?" I said, "Gilbert Dean, what's wrong with you?" He said, "Where's the bandit?" He says, convoy coming out of Florida, you got to have a black firebird in the lead position there.
Man, the traditionalist.
Yeah.
Ted, say what you want. We say bad things about him, but the man is a traditionalist.
I'll tell you what's the truth. I mean, you just cannot have a convoy like that.
No.
It's just, it goes against your mama. But anyway, but we, you was talking about crazy people in the family.
Yeah, you got any eccentric people in your family, or nuts?
Not a one.
Not a one?
Not a one. No, only to excess. But no, my ex-wife, she had an aunt that was worth millions and millions and millions. I mean, I think she was pushing close to $100 million.
Wow.
Of worth.
Wow.
And all, she's from Arkansas and Mississippi, all from land and agriculture, and I think there's a little oil in there somewhere. But she lived like a pauper. And when she would write folks in the family letters, she would take a brown grocery sack and cut a square out of it. And she would use that. She was too cheap to buy stationery.
Well, she only had $100 million.
No, I guess, when you got that much money, it's hard to break it down into ones and fives and tens. But
you hear those kind of stories all the time, Ted, about the retired lady or the retired man who lived in Maude's life.
Right.
And then they found out that they had $15 million in the bank or so,
Well, she had a big, nice, fancy house and everything. But she just wouldn't spend no money, and she rat-holed everything, newspapers, she just, you'd be at her house, and you'd get ready to throw something away that anybody in their right mind would just toss in the trash. Oh, no, wait a minute, let me have that there. Let me wash that thing off,
A pack rat.
Yeah.
But there's a name for that, too. That's a mental disability. People will not throw the napkins away that they get from the McDonald's, In their house, they will have just pathways to walk through.
I know it.
Among the styrofoam cups and the like.
I know it. You got to take one of them machetes there to, chop your way through the bathroom.
Hold on a minute. What did you say, Dan? He says he's not crazy. He just likes junk.
No. well, there's something to be said for that too.
Yep.
But no, and then we also, of course, we got we got Uncle Gnarly down here.
Yeah, Gnarly. We could put Gnarly in that category.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. He ought to be, at least in the top 10.
Yeah, I think so.
But he was, and I think I've told this story before, but it was one of the funny ones. It's been several years. I'll tell it again for some of you newer listeners.
All right.
Right after we opened the Straight Lane Casino down here, Uncle Gnarly, he's kind of a part-time preacher of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And he also owns that Tire Tools Russ across the street over here.
Yeah, I knew he was an entrepreneur way back.
So he was out here picketing in front of the Straight Lane one morning after we opened, and he's a big Flintstones fan.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Well,
so he's the one, isn't he?
And you remember when that Flintstone movie come out here a few years ago?
Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah.
Well, he only saw that thing about 87 times.
Love that, did he?
Yeah, and he was out there out front, and he gets a little crazy on you. He'll shift on you. One minute, Ludlow, he'll just be as straight and sane as an arrow, and the next minute, he's just off his cookie completely.
Like diet pills.
Yeah, and Dolene come in one day and said, Ted, you got to get out here. Uncle Gnarly, he's kind of going off the deep end out front picking. And I went out there. I said, Uncle Gnarly, what you doing? He says, I'm trying to save this nation, son. I'm trying to heal this land, my son.
Uh-huh.
And then he was preaching to the crowd, and then he shifts. He says, I want shoes on Fred and Barney when they take that big stone car down the street through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Can I get a yabba-dabba-doo? And we just took him inside, set him in the corner.
Poured water on him.
Yeah, gave him a fan.
Oh.
So, anyway.
Give me that again. I don't want to forget that.
Oh, he was saying, I want to heal this nation, son. I want to bring up the moral tone of this country, son. I want shoes on Fred and Barney when he takes that big stone car down the street through the courtesy of Fred's 2 feet. Can I get a yabba-dabba-doo?
Knocks me out.
Well,
so far you win on the Crazy Relatives.
Well,
Gnarly's right in there at the top.
Well, that's why I wanted to be one of the first callers. I figured, let's just start it at a high standard here.
Yeah.
See how far down we can go.
Well, Gnarly's right there at the top, and he is kind of motivational in his speaking.
Yeah, he is. He's a mess, as they say.
Well, you give him my warmest personal regards, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, y'all come here.
Hang in there, big boy. Can I get a yabba-dabba-doo? Our number, 1-800-572-8255, more right after this. This is Ludlow Porch, and I want to tell you about a recent discovery I made. It's an odor eliminator. Now, I don't want you to confuse this with sweet-smelling air spray that's in your bathroom right now. I'm talking about a new kind of product called Citrus Magic. Doesn't just mask or hide odors. Citrus Magic actually dissolves odors in the air. Listen now. I said Citrus Magic dissolves odors in the air. Odors like pet odors, bathroom odors, food odors, smoke odors. Last 4 times longer than the leading brand. Got a clean smell like fresh cut oranges or lemons, and no chemicals. Contains only 100% natural citrus concentrates. It's wonderful. It's available right this minute at Kroger, Food Line, Bi-Lo's, Harry's Farmers Market, and other fine stores. I want you to go in and pick up some. It's called Citrus Magic. You pick this up and take it home, but while you're there, you be sure and tell them that Ludlow Porch sent you.
Granny had to go to the hospital to let them run some tests. And I was sent to take care of her house. Lord, was it a mess. See, Granny was an old-time country lady. She didn't throw nothing away. She said, save everything that you ever own. You might need it for a rainy day. Waste not, thought not, and that's what I always say. Save everything that you ever own. You might need it for a rainy day.
Or never know. Never know. 1-800-572-8255. Denny has spoken this morning to Frymeier's son, and the surgery was supposed to be yesterday at 2 o'clock, and they had to put it off because the doctor had an emergency come up. So anyway, he's in surgery right now. Then they're doing a triple bypass, and he's doing fine. All right, so let's keep our fingers crossed for the Kentucky wild man, Dick Frymeier, and we'll keep you posted. We will keep you posted. Our number 1-800-572-8255. Let us talk now to AJ on his car phone. Hello, AJ.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing, big boy?
I'm present and accounted for, sir.
I'll take that.
I'm hauling the ballots from coming to Crabapple.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, me and Sheriff's going to count them up.
Yeah.
And there won't be no prejudice in that count, I promise.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not worried about that, Tom.
Hey, when we was out west, we got to go have supper with my dad's aunt.
Uh-huh.
And she's showing up crazy.
Well, she's nuts, is she?
Oh, man, she's a multimillionaire. Got more money than you and I'll ever see.
Yeah.
She thinks everybody's trying to get it from her.
Of course.
Went in her house, and she's got, a nice little old brick house. And you know how they used to have the kitchen and dining room lights that have the little glass thing to cover up the light bulb?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she took them down and sold them.
Mm-hmm.
Just had one bare bulb in each deal.
Uh-huh.
They warned us to not get her started talking about politics, so we stayed away from that. And about halfway through supper, she started telling us how the doctors and lawyers and the Jews are in cahoots with the Martians.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And that pretty soon all of them are going to go to Mars, and all the rest of us are going to be stuck down here as peons like slaves.
So she got that one figured out, does she?
Oh, man.
I wonder if she has a timetable on any of that, because crazy people love to do that. They'll say October the 4th.
Well, she didn't get down that low, but she said that Bill Clinton had already been there twice.
Been to Mars.
Yeah,
yeah.
He liked it there a lot better his second trip.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, man. When the Y2K come through, my aunt and uncle had to go spend the night till past midnight with her.
Uh-huh.
She just knew everything. The dam was going to bust up above the town.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you what, bless her heart.
I'd love to have been there on Y2K. She'd have been entertaining. I hope they got some pictures.
She's a wild one. But I can't believe you brought that up this morning, because that just fit right in.
All right, big boy. You drive carefully out there.
All right, we'll be talking at you.
Good enough. See you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mountaintop Flea Market and Country Mall just outside of Attalla, Alabama. Biggest in the state, but it's only open on Sunday. Yeah. Listen, I told you about, I was talking about the books the other day. I told you about the View from the Porch and the Cornbread Chronicles, and they were going to get away. Well, they did. So we got a new one now. Can I just do it till I need glasses? Great book. Maybe my favorite. Good book. And nothing neat about seeing your feet, which is my commentary on dieting and exercise and that sort of thing, with a comment by Richard Simmons. And both of those and a mouse pad for $35. A mouse pad. Oh, I got to tell you this. Lady called yesterday, the day before, and said, I ordered 3 books and I only got 2. And she thought Mousepad was a book. Bless her heart. So that's 2 books on a Mousepad. $35 to Ludlow Porch, Post Office Box 643 at Dawsonville, Georgia 30534. It's Ludlow Porch, Post Office Box 643, Dawsonville, Georgia 30534. That's 2 books and a thing to put your hand on when you're messing with your computer. And all of them, in one way or another, got my picture on. Choo Choo Man. Hello, Choo Choo Man.
I'll be home this Christmas. You can count on me. Is that the one?
No, I don't even recognize it. You just butchered one of the great songs of all time.
I thought that might be the one that it made tears come in your eyes, Luddy.
No, this was you just did what made tears come out.
Well, I figured I would.
And I can see out in the parking lot, Denny's driving off.
You better stop him. He may get in trouble out there on that in that traffic.
Amen. You doing all right this morning?
Oh, doing good. But you know what? Another pretty sad song is Blue Christmas.
Oh yeah, wasn't that an Elvis song?
Yeah. Elvis had a big hit out on that.
Yeah, it is sad.
But you know, this one wasn't a sad song. Gene Autry had one back in the 40s. Santa's coming in a whirlybird.
Oh, was that Gene Autry?
Yeah, Santa's coming in a whirlybird.
All right. Oh, Gene cashed in on those Christmas songs.
Oh man, he could do them Christmas songs.
I promise you.
But you know what?
What?
I guess so. Dean Martin had the saddest one that I've ever heard.
What was it?
Was it White Christmas?
Bing Crosby.
Was it Bing? Oh, okay. I've got my. See, you can tell I'm country. I don't. I mean, I love some of that other stuff, but that's not country. See.
But that it doesn't fall easily off of your tongue.
No, but it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That was Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby, yeah.
My goodness, that was sad and pretty, and I just sit and listen to it all day long.
Yeah.
But we're gonna hear a lot of good Christmas songs now. You know,
good stuff.
They are on their way.
Good stuff. You take care, big boy.
All right, have a good one.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
1-800-572-8255 is our number as we talk to her. Morning Glory. Hello there.
Hello.
How you doing, my love?
Well, I'm doing fine, and I tell you, I could take up the rest of the day talking about my nutty family.
Oh, you got some good ones, haven't you?
No, I mean, they're all bad. But,
yeah, well, whatever. But we can only do this till 12 o'clock now. So.
But I had my paternal grandfather had a sister who did not marry.
Mm-hmm.
And when my grandfather and my grandmother married, she was incensed because one of my grandmother was from what she considered the South. And consequently, when my father and my aunt were born, she considered them illegitimate and never spoke to them.
Really?
Never would speak to anybody else in the family.
You got a character there.
I tell you, and they went by, and Daddy said that, you know, he went down to where she lived and tried to, you know, get her to recognize him as part of the family. She just wouldn't speak to him, anything else.
Where was she from?
She was, and I'm always getting them backwards. One of them was from, I think my grandfather was from Delaware, and my grandmother was from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was just unbelievable. And but to make it even nuttier, poor woman, she was, as I say, she was a maiden lady. And when she died, they went into her apartment, and she was one of these people who had saved newspapers and magazines and things like that, and you had to literally find a path to get through.
Yeah. You know, they've diagnosed that now, and that is considered a mental illness now, and a lot of people suffer from that.
I'm one of them.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about paths. Literally, you got to have paths between the rubbish.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
But I also have a cousin that this is on the other side of the family. That, bless his heart, the truth is not in him.
Mm-hmm.
It just is not. But it's not a malicious lie that he tells. What he tells is just usually funny. And he worked for one of the power companies in one of the nearby states. And he'd go, they went out in the truck every day, and he had a man that worked with him and this sort of stuff. And finally this guy asked him, says, you know, my power bill's awful high, and it ain't there somewhere, you know, I can get this thing a little lower. And good old Herbert looked at him, and he said, all right, now, I'm going to tell you how you can lower your power bill, but don't, if you tell anybody, I'm going to know you told everybody, and I'm going to be in trouble, and so are you. Oh, swore up and down, wasn't going to tell a soul. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So he says, if you take a brick and put it on top of your electric meter, on, you know, the glass part and everything,
mm-hmm.
Nobody will know the difference. Nobody will notice or anything else. and the weight of that brick is going to make the little thing run slower, and you don't have to pay as much, on your power bill.
Oh, that's funny.
So, he swore. I won't tell a soul, everything else. Next day, Herbert goes by to pick him up, and he lived in one of these neighborhoods, just one house after another, everything. Every blasted house had a brick on the last thing. I said, Herbert, that's what you get for lying, you son of a gun.
That is so funny.
And he said, and he said when he came driving down that road and saw all those bricks, and that guy swore up and down, he hadn't told him so.
So they're just copycats.
I know it.
I'll tell you a quick Aunt Jill story. Everything brings up an Aunt Jill story with me, and everybody in my family. Aunt Jill in her early 80s was just as spry as she could be. I mean, just as spry as she could be, and she had plenty of money. And she bought her, she was 82, 83, she bought her a new Cadillac convertible. And away she goes. She's got in addition to Atlanta, she's got a house on the beach in Melbourne, Florida. She's going to Melbourne in that brand new Cadillac convertible. Call me from Melbourne. And she said, I want you to sue somebody for me. And I said, who you want me to sue, Angel? I want you to sue General Motors. I said, why? She said, tore my car all to pieces. Brand new Cadillac, torn all to pieces out. She said, I was all down in the gully. And said, I hit so hard that my legs had a coma. Had a coma in my legs. And I said, what happened, Angel? She said, well, I was riding along. It was a nice day. And I decided I wanted to open the top, so I just pushed that button that you open the top and said, boy, I was all over the road, went down and thing and combed my legs and tore the car all to pieces. And I said, hey, Jill, you can't do that. Do what? You can't open the top when you're driving along 50, 60 miles an hour. She said, let me tell you something, Sonny boy. I have read the owner's manual cover to cover, and then she said, and it don't say a damn word about that.
Now see, we must be related because that sounds exactly like something that several of my kinfolks would do.
She's cutting grass in Melbourne, Florida. Got the picture. She's cutting grass. Now she's done it by herself, and she's in her 80s, and she's cutting grass, and she's got a little yapping Chihuahua dogs all around, and she's got the radio outside, so she can hear everything going on. And the man said that there's a slight tropical disturbance someplace in the Caribbean. And Jill didn't lock up the house. She went and got in her Cadillac and came back to Atlanta.
Oh, God.
Didn't even throw them dogs in there and come on back here. Getting away from the hurricane. She knows it's going to be a hurricane.
That's hysterical.
I
love people like that. I love colorful people.
Boy, you'd have loved her.
Oh, I really would have.
One more. I got time for one more. Okay. Down at the house playing cards with Uncle Frank. My mentor and a great lawyer. We were playing, he loved to play cards. We were playing cards, and I had heard that they had a little Chihuahua dog there, and I had heard that it cost $50. And I did love to tease Uncle Frank, and I said, I never thought I'd live to see the day when Frank Grizzard paid $50 for a dog you could put in a coffee pot. And he said, in the name of God, my man, you know I ain't never paid no. I said, that's Miss Willie's, that's what he called that, Jill. Miss Willie's dog. And she's responsible for that, and little Chihuahua. And she said, "Well, Frankie, if this dog will cure Helen's asthma, it's worth every bit of the $50." And he looked at her over his cards, and he said, "Cure asthma, will it?" And she said, "Everybody knows that a Chihuahua dog will cure asthma." And he turned to me, and he, like she wasn't in the room, and said, "Ludlow, every year we send millions and millions of dollars to Africa to educate the heathen, and we have such vast ignorance here in our own midst."
Oh, Lordy. That's the kind of person or the people that you just need to sit and listen to with a tape recorder.
Oh, exactly right.
Absolutely.
Exactly right. I got to get out of here. I got busy talking and forgot what time it was.
That's all right. And I can't wait to listen to the rest of the program because I know there's going to be some jewels coming up.
You take care of yourself.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you. 1-800-572-8255. Listen, There'll probably be some eccentric people going with us to Ireland. I hope so, because I do love them. We're leaving May 26th, group of the Wackos, and we are going to Ireland, and we're going to see Ireland stem to stern. And if you've never seen Ireland stem, you don't know what you've been missing. We've got things all over that country. We're gonna eat together with the people, and we're gonna walk on the streets with them and shop with them and drink with them with the Irish cabaret shows. We're going to visit some of the most famous pubs in Ireland, which means it's the most famous pub in the world. We're going to see the Blarney Stone. See it all, gang. Do it all. And all put together. I want you to go with us. Here's how you get more information. You call my Nancy at 1-888-256-3044. It's a toll-free call, and she's sitting there right this minute. 1-888-256-3044. She'll answer any questions you have about this more than wonderful trip, or she will send you a brochure, or she will do both. Won't you go with us, gang? May the 8th is galloping toward us. 1-888-256-3044. You call my Nancy today.
So you drive a real clunker, a piece of junk that needs major body repair, a car so unsightly it should be banned from the road, can't afford a nice new luxury car? Then try the next best thing by purchasing the all-new car cap, the ingenious new car cover for your piece of trash. Friends and neighbors will say, "Gosh, Fred, how can you afford such an expensive car?" Well, the car cap comes in any model you desire: Porsche, Mercedes, Cadillac, Lincoln, Ferrari. The car cap list goes on and on. Always wanted a Jaguar? Well, now it's yours with the Jaguar model car cap. The car cap conveniently slips over the body of your Pinto, Capri, whatever kind of old bomber you drive. Just attach the Velcro straps of the car cap to the chassis of your clunker, and presto, your hunk of junk suddenly becomes the car of your dreams. It's absolutely amazing. No more nasty comments about your ride. You'll become the envy of the neighborhood by purchasing a car cap today, made out of 100% genuine imitation rayon and 40% wood for that sturdy, safe, smooth ride. Supplies are limited, so order your car cap today before those pesky lawsuits roll in. Remember, that's the car cap, your car's buddy.
All right, 1-800-572-8255 is our number. Great day to be alive, and we'd like to hear from you. No clouds in the skies, nothing, just as pretty as it can be. Let's get right back to the phones. Go to Winchester, Georgia, where my buddy, the Bumpkin, is standing by.
Good morning, good morning. How is two of my most favorite people doing?
We are doing great. We are doing great.
I am too. First thing I want to do is give old Ted a big old yabba dabba do.
Was that a funny line?
That was a good one. I want to tell you about my wife's uncle first.
Okay.
He was a bachelor, a drunk, and to do anything for the next drink.
Yeah.
You know the type.
Oh, when he got started, he couldn't stop.
Well, when he wasn't drinking, he was trying to figure out a way to get him a bottle. And he'd tell you any kind of lie you want to hear.
Yeah.
And he was good at it, too.
He knew his craft, didn't he?
One morning in the late 60s, me and my wife's brother, and we were buying pecans. It was about this time of the year, cold. And we had a fire built in a 55-gallon drum out in front of the pecan house. We didn't have no heater. And so we had a fire built in this drum. And here come Uncle Willie. And he was happy this morning. I knew he had him a drink somewhere. we had a bunch of oranges, and it was probably about this time in the morning. And my brother-in-law said something, or was picking at me some sort of way. Anyhow, I was sucking on an orange, and I reared back and threw it at my brother-in-law. He was running, and my uncle had to duck in the his half a pint of whiskey, brand new, fell out of his coat pocket. But he preached for an hour and a half to me that morning.
Don't you know?
There wasn't no way I could be forgiven.
Don't know. Not until he got around to telling you he'd like you to replace that.
Yeah. But
that didn't take him long, I bet, did it?
but we didn't replace it. But, we knew what he would do with the $2 if he got it.
Yeah.
But he had a knack for getting it now. I want to tell you a story of it. That was true now. That's honest truth. I had an uncle that worked at Marine Base in Albany. It's a supply center for the rest of the world.
Right.
And he told this story now. It's a lie he told it. And I wouldn't doubt it being a lie because he was pretty good at it. But he said he was sitting there one day and the colonel come along. And he said, I walked up to him and said, sir, says, I got a nephew and he's been trying to get in the Marines. Could you help him? And the colonel said, well, yeah, I could probably help him. He says, what's his problem? He says, well, they checked him out and found out he had a mama and a daddy. And they won't let him in.
Ooh. Ooh.
That don't sound too good with you, I know, but...
No, but I've heard it before.
and my last, and I had a rich uncle that died. And about a week ago, we went to the reading of the will.
Uh-huh.
And the cotton pickle rascal believed he's going to be reincarnated, so he left everything to himself.
I hope he makes it. Wherever he is, Bumpkin, I'm pulling for it.
I am too. All right, lad.
Have a good one, buddy. I'll talk to you.
All right,
bye-bye. It's Mountaintop Flea Market and Country Mall, gang. Listen, I want to tell you all about it. 6 miles west of Attala, Alabama on Highway 278 at the 101-mile marker. And for you folks out there who are saying right this minute, a flea market is a flea market, let me tell you something. Not true. Over 40,000 people go to the Mountaintop Flea Market on Sunday mornings, where over 1,000 dealers display their wares over 97 acres, and it's only open on Sunday. Opens 5 a.m. until on Sunday mornings. You get yourself over there if you want some bargains. Their motto is buy, sell, and trade, and less deal. It's the Mountaintop Flea Market and Country Mall, 6 miles west of Attala, Alabama on Highway 278 at the 101-mile marker. You tell them Ludlow sent you.
This is Profile America for Thursday, November 30th. Employers across the country may receive some odd calls from their workers today, not because they're sick, but because some wag has designated the day as Stay Home Because You're Well Day. Among the nation's workforce, the average employee misses just under 5 days a year on the job because of illness or injury. School-aged children miss an average of 4 days a year of class. All told, the average American has some 15 days a year when they cut down on their activities for more than half a day because of illness or injury, with slightly more time accounted for by women. Of the time when we're not feeling our best, we spend about 6 days in bed annually. Profile America is brought to you as a public service by the U.S. Census Bureau.
My friend Paris says Larry likes me, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's a boy on the baseball team with big brown eyes and way cool hair. He just makes me want to scream.
Uh-huh.
Daddy, my friend Paris says Larry likes me, Dad. He's on the baseball team with big brown eyes and a way cool hair and a smile that makes me wanna scream.
If our kids' words were set to music, maybe we'd all be better listeners. This is Winona reminding you to tune in to your kids.
Ooh, you really makes me wanna scream.
Is that right? A message from the Country Music Association and the Advertising Council. Visit us online at tuneintokids.com.
Oh, yeah. Any one time, down at their house, in Jill and Uncle Frank's house, and then Jill was in the kitchen, which was just off the den, preparing dinner. And she, I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, I know what it was. It was a cup of a glass container of coffee, things you make coffee out of, coffee. She dropped it and broke it. And we sat there and watched her. Neither one of us said a word while she ran that coffee through a tea strainer to get the glass out of it. put it all back in another container. We just sat there, and Uncle Frank went back to his newspaper, and about 3 minutes later, she knocked off a big bottle of peanut butter off the counter, and it hit on the floor and broke. And he turned to me, and he said, Ludlow, if your Aunt Jill tries to strain that peanut butter, I'm leaving. 1-800-572-8255. Odors magically disappear with Citrus Magic, gang. 1-800-451-7096. Let's talk to Mike on the radio. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Ludlow.
How you doing, Tiger?
Doing fine. Like your topic. Your Aunt Jill was a doozy, apparently.
She was a pill in this world.
I'm telling you, that's great. I won't mention any politics other than the fact I was watching David Letterman last night, and Letterman said he was walking by Central Park yesterday and saw a squirrel recounting his nuts. That's enough politics right there. About what
plenty of politics, yeah.
Yeah, but talking about uncles and aunts, etc., you struck a chord with me because when I was a kid, we were all sitting out on a screened-in porch, my aunt and uncles, listening to a Rocky Marciano fight on a summer night. And my Uncle Tom was the best guy in the world. I mean, he'd take you anywhere you wanted to go, anytime you wanted to go. But he was bad to drink. Bad to drink. And that particular night we were listening to the fight out there, and Uncle Tom went back in my aunt's room back there and drank, I think, about half a bottle of Halo shampoo.
Ooh.
He came out on the porch. My dad looked up and he said, "Oh, my God, Tom's and drank about all that Halo shampoo." He was foaming at the mouth like a mad dog, blowing bubbles. I mean, every time he talked, bubbles were coming out. I said, "Oh, man."
Well,
that just reminds me of a story of my Uncle Tom. He was a great guy, but boy, he loved that alcohol.
Well, sometimes I've known people, so have you, that fought it all their life.
Yeah.
Fought it all their life and lost.
And was as good as gold. Man, it was great.
Yeah.
But, like that booze. But anyway, I'm enjoying the listening to your program.
All right, buddy, you keep it up. We love it.
Have a good day.
How's your retirement going?
I'm really enjoying it. I've gotten about 10 bags on the street already. The garbage man hates me. 31 years in my office, and I got about 10 boxes for the new rep and about 10 bags on the street already.
Oh, I love it.
But I'm enjoying
your
show.
Hang in there, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. 1-800-572-8255 is our number, and I don't believe we have time to give another caller an adequate amount of time. So I'll just tell you about the book offer for one more time. Can I just do it till I need glasses? Funny book. It's about growing up in the South. If you got a drop of Southern blood in it, you're going to like it. $15 for Nothing Needed by Seeing Your Feet, and a mouse pad. We'll throw that in. That's $35 for 2 books and a mouse pad. Now, when you send this in, $35 to Ludlow Porch, Post Office Box 643, Dawsonville, Georgia 30534. Be sure and send a note inside the envelope that tells me how you want these books autographed. If you don't send anything, I'll have no way of knowing whether these are for Christmas or for anniversaries or for birthdays or for just for your collection. So I'll just plain autograph if you don't put anything in there. But if you want an autograph to you, my name, that sort of thing, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Christmas 2000, that kind of thing, put it in there so I'll have a clue as to how to do that. And then lick the envelope. Close it up, send it to Ludlow Porch, Post Office Box 643, Dawsonville, Georgia 30534, and we'll get it right back to you. Most of these things are going out that day or the next day. We're right on top of this, aware that time is of the essence around Christmas time. So jump in here and join us. 1-800-572-8255. And as I told you, the Appalachian Lights at Birch Farm, open and absolutely gorgeous. Get yourself up there. They're open through the 30th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly, only closed on Christmas Eve. And ask about the new talking pumpkins. Kind of exciting. I mean, anytime a pumpkin talks, I mean, that ain't chopped liver, baby. So be sure and ask about that. Yeah, but don't just walk up to a pumpkin and ask him. You ask some of the humans around there, they'll tell you. But you ask a pumpkin, you didn't get nothing out of a pumpkin. They're very closed mouth. Did I tell you about Natalie going over there? We've been telling about Birch Pumpkin Farm. The day before we left, she said, Ludlow, Do pumpkins bite? We'll be right back.
This is the Ludlow Porch Show on the Fun Seekers Radio Network, brought to you in part by Colonel Poole's Barbecue and the world-famous Pig Hill of Fame, and by the Lanier Lodge. The toll-free lines are now open at 1-800-572-TALK. That's 1-800-572-8255. Or in Greater Atlanta, 770-205-2741. And now, here's Ludlow Porch.
Well, good morning, fun seekers out there in Radio Land. How y'all? Having a good time today. Let me tell you what we're talking about. If we've never done this before, as a topic, we have touched on it. We're talking to you about and I started off saying crazy relatives, but that sounds a little harsh. In my case, it happens to be true. They were crazy. But eccentric relatives, people just about a half a bubble out of plum. You know what I'm talking about? Cheese has slipped off the cracker. We know about how to do that in the South. I mean, we all got them, and we know how to hide them. But I've fessed up what I want you to fess up. I want to hear about your eccentric relatives. And we're going to go to Somerset, Kentucky right this minute and talk to my buddy, Bob. Hello, cousin.
Good morning, Cousin Ludlow.
How you doing, buddy?
All right. One of these days I want to talk to you about the Porches that lived here, and wonder if they're any kin to you. There was a gentleman named Edwin Porch that was a very distinguished man here at one time.
How did they spell it?
Porch.
Well, that's the same way.
He was, before my time, he was county court clerk here for over 50 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very, very, very well-respected man, but they're long died out.
All right. Well, we're not a healthy lot. We drop like flies.
I was going to tell you about my great uncle George. He was an eccentric man and quirky, but he wasn't crazy. He was just difficult.
Yeah, eccentric. That's a good word.
He lived in Montana. He left here in 1908 when he was a young man and homesteaded in Montana. My granddaddy went out there with him, and my granddaddy was 49 years old when Mother was born, so that was a long time ago. But anyway, luckily he didn't stay in Montana or I wouldn't be here. But anyway.
You'd be in Montana.
That's right. Or some version of me, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyway, he'd come here when he got to be an old man, and he'd come as far as Illinois and fly to Illinois and then take the train back here because he couldn't stand the Montana winter. But he wore a 10-gallon John B., stained and the whole bit.
Yeah.
Chewed Brown's mule tobacco. And he wore old men's mule house shoes because his feet were arthritic. You remember them?
Oh, yeah.
And but he was the funniest guy. He was cranky. He wouldn't use the bathroom in the house. When it come that time of day, he went to the woods not far from where we live here. When he stayed with us, he thought that was the nastiest thing he could imagine, using the bathroom in the house.
It wasn't natural.
It was not natural. But he stayed here. But he was a good man. But he would sulk sometimes and wouldn't hardly say anything to you for days. And he just drove my mother crazy. But he was no trouble, and he didn't want to be in trouble till he'd eat anything that was said for him. But one time he stayed out, my grandmother's out in the country, and stayed in the back bedroom, and I went in there one morning real early, and he was drinking out of a big amber bottle, and it had barleycorns in it. And I was just a little boy, like 4 years old, and I said, Uncle George, what is that? He said, that's my rheumatism medicine. Never cracked a smile. And of course, I just believed him, you know.
Of course.
He kept but he liked kids, and in his own way, and he kept a tobacco sack with elk teeth in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
with elk teeth.
Elk teeth.
Yeah.
He said, "Now, if you'll come to Montana, I'll take you elk hunting." Of course, I never did get to Montana till he was long dead. But he was quite a fellow. Had a sweet baritone speaking voice, and it was a soft voice. Never raised that voice. And he came and stayed out at my grandmother's after my granddaddy died, when, of course, they were old folks. And I could just remember him. He was real sad. He'd say, my grandmother's name was Julie. Said, "Julie, can I go get the cows?" He picked up that accent, you know, not the cows like we said it, but he was a good man. But
well, what memories he left you?
Oh yeah, and you know, I visited his daughter in '93. I had never seen her till my mother had a cousins reunion in 1979, and he came and she came here and stayed at a motel, and I visited her for 2 weeks at a time in Montana. It's at Whitefish outside of Glacier Park, one of the most beautiful places.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Sounds like a beautiful state.
It is a beautiful state. One quick thing on these songs that you like. Any hard driving bluegrass puts me in a good mood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to listen to good bluegrass without being put in a good mood.
One I like particularly is Dillard's Dooley.
Yeah.
They did it on the Andy Griffith thing.
Many times, yeah.
And
very good.
And Mountain Dew and any of that stuff, any of the work songs that had to do, and also the Motown stuff like Shotgun by Junior Walker and All Stars. Remember that song?
Yeah, just wonderful stuff.
And Knock on Wood, all that stuff puts me in a good mood. And I like Susan Marches, believe it or not.
Oh, me too. Boy, that brings me right back. I'm back in the military again when I hear one of those things.
Oh, yeah. Any of that. I'm sure like Semper Fidelis is one of your favorites.
Oh, yeah.
And for a pensive one, somebody does a guitar version of Since I Fell for You. Is it The Ventures? Or?
Oh, yeah. I don't know who it is, but that's great.
It makes me sad.
That is great, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got to run, big boy.
Have a good one.
You take care of yourself.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 1-800-572-8255. What are you going to be doing, say, Tuesday, May 29th? I don't have any idea. Let me tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have a full Irish breakfast. And I'm going to leave Dublin. I'm going to travel along the East Coast. And I'm going to stop at the Waterford Crystal Company. And after a magical audiovisual presentation and tour of the factory, we're going to visit the gallery where features some of the world's finest Waterford pieces. And then we're going to travel south through the towns of Cork, Kinsale. We're going to go to the gourmet capital of Ireland, that's Kinsale, where we'll check into a hotel, dine tonight at one of the city's most renowned restaurants, and then spend the night in Kinsale. That's what I'm going to be doing, and you can be right there with me. Let me tell you what you do. Get set to go. May 26th, June 8th, going to Ireland. 1-888-256-3044. That's a toll-free call to my Nancy. She'll answer any questions that you have, and make sure you get all the information you need. She'll send you a brochure. If not now, when, gang? Don't put this off. Important. 1-888-256-3044. Toll-free call. You rascal, call it today.
You could start up your own department store with all the items we've seen thrown out on the road these days.
You're darn tootin'. That's right. You've been looking for bargain prices. Well, Roadway Rummage stores are coming to a mall near you. Roadway Rummage specializes in quality pre-owned goods. We've got an overflowing stock of mattresses and box springs, king and queen size. Environmentally concerned? Like to recycle? 10-pound bags of aluminum beer cans imported from the Florida Turnpike. This week, only $29.95, and saves you the labor and embarrassment of collecting them yourself. Ladders, refrigerators, broken glass, baby diapers, tires. If it's found on the roadways of America, we've got it in stock at Roadway Rummage. Tractor trailer mud slabs, desks, chairs, hubcaps, rocks, auto parts, the list is endless. And get this deal, assorted faded ball caps, 40% off during our grand opening sale. We'll have door prizes, and you could win a 50-pound box of nearly fresh dry ribs directly off State Road 55 near Memphis. Don't miss the grand opening of your local Roadway Rummage store. Approved by the ICC, DOT, DMV, FTC, NTSB, and ATF.
got it swinging. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Stop by the road, they used to king of them all, y'all. Where you all that spinning dogs are. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Stop by, don't tell me why,
Every time I hear them, I think about old Ed Burns. Got all the children on one knee, and a real long knee. I want to remind you, Friday we're going to be at Broadcasting Live, WKDY, Spartanburg, South Carolina, and we'd like to have you come by and just say hello and visit with us a little while. Watch us do it. Have a big time. So you come up, we got 9 to noon, having a big time. We got some books. Be autographing some books, having a good time. You come by and join us. We'll go up there and have a big time in one of my favorite cities. Let's go to Cartersville, Georgia, where my friend Troy is standing by. What do you say, Troy?
Not much. Sitting around doing nothing.
All right, doing it well, though, I bet you.
Well, I used to listen to you down in Tifton.
Uh-huh.
That's not fit when you spell it backwards.
It's what?
Not fit.
I've said that many times.
And got up here, and I finally fiddling around with this dial, being legally blind, you know, and I found you, and I says, that's the one I want.
That a boy.
And I kind of missed you, you know, about 2 years now, but anyhow.
Well, we're glad you're back, and I'm glad I'm with you.
Well, I found you, so here we are.
Here we are.
Nobody else finds me. But, no, I was going to tell you about, you know, talking about it's kind of eccentric or whatever you call it.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
That's what they were.
Yeah.
I got 2 uncles, and I don't know who the third guy was. You know, we were sharecroppers and all that back down there in Lapahall.
Uh-huh.
All right. They had all been sitting out on the front porch talking about odds and ends, you know, I guess, you know, back, oh, Lord, that's before I was born. So I guess this is still true.
Yeah.
And one of the boys sitting there, something about there, the old bird dog that would run off for, you know, 2 or 3 days at a time.
Yeah.
Then come dragging home. And my younger uncle told him, he says, I tell you what to do, Lester. And the other boy says, no, I'll tell him. He says, okay. He says, go ahead. He says,
hush, I'll tell him.
Yeah, hush, I'll tell him. He says, the way you keep a dog home nowadays, he says, you got to bobtail him. Cut his tail off.
Uh-huh.
So they sit there, my next to the youngest uncle. Now my youngest uncle's the one that's telling this.
Mm-hmm.
That he got up and went in the house. Come back in a few minutes, and the old dog just loved my uncle. Sitting there, and directly had a meat cleaver in his hand. Whap! He got that dog's tail.
Oh.
Yeah, it said that dog stayed going for 2 weeks.
Can you blame him?
Well, I thought they were supposed to stay home. But now, I don't know if that's eccentric or real dumb.
No, that was nuts. Yeah, that went right on by eccentric, went directly to crazy.
But no, I got I was going to call you yesterday and never did get through. But anyhow, I got another uncle, Riley Midget. Now, that's the name for you.
Uncle Riley, yeah.
Uncle Riley.
Yeah.
He was out of Palm Beach, Florida. And every time he'd come up there to Tifton or wherever we was at, we had the outhouse. We didn't have no inside running, water.
Yeah, yeah.
And he had a glass eye. I remember the right one. He would reach up there and dig it out, lay it up on a little porch thing, whatever you call it. It was like a
banister, like a banister.
Yeah, where we'd go out there and wash our hands and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I asked him one day, I said, well, Uncle Riley, I said, why don't you take your eye out and you go down to the outhouse? He says, well, I just don't want to get no disease in it. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or otherwise.
Well, that was Uncle Riley. Troy, glad you're back, buddy. You take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. 1-800-572. Hey, yeah, you get disease in a glass eye, you got you something. All the Windex in the world ain't going to fix it. 1-800-572-8255. Ludlow, Indiana. Listen, Burt's Farm, Appalachian Lights starts tonight at 6 o'clock. I mean, they've been going on since November the 20th. Going to be 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. nightly. And what you do, there's a couple of ways to do this. You can go through in your own car and or you can take the hayride and go through. Now you drive through in your vehicle. It is absolutely pretty. 2 miles of Christmas splendor, and this thing changes and grows every year. It's right now as pretty as I've ever seen it, and I've been at least once to every one they've had. It's absolutely gorgeous. 2 miles of Christmas splendor. Enjoy an enchanting evening of illumination, the Appalachian Lights at Birch Farm. Get yourself on out there and enjoy this. Ask about the new talking pumpkins. It is in Dawson County, and all you have to do is 1-800-600-BERT if you need directions, but it's just outside the main gate there at Amicalola Falls. 1-800-600-BERT. Ludlow and Denny, the Fun Seekers Radio Network. We'll be right back.
This town. Ah, yes, the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra. The legendary man and his legendary music left an indelible mark of excellence. And now, new from Crudco Records, covering all those immortal songs, another legend. It's Bob Dylan and Blonde on Blonde Does Old Blue Eyes. A phenomenal collaboration of chart-topping tunes like
Why the Lady is a Tramp.
And the classic Big Apple theme song.
If I can make it there, I can make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
And who could forget the majestic sounds of
3 coins in the phantom, each one seeking happiness.
Available on 8 CDs or 13 8-tracks. But wait, there's more.
Chicago, Chicago, my kind of town.
Plus My Way, Being Green, That's Life, and Send in the Clowns. Get your copy today. In this exclusive radio offer, Bob Dylan does Frank Sinatra's greatest hits. Only $79.99. Order now. Dial 1-800-CRUDCO. That's 1-800-CRUDCO.
It's witchcraft.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I'd go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time.
1-800-572-8255 is talking about some of your more eccentric relatives. I've told mine, you can tell yours. Jump in here and join us. Let's go to Morristown, Tennessee, and talk to Lauren. What you got, Lauren?
Well, my family came out of western North Carolina near Boone into Watauga, which is just across and was one of the earliest Tennessee settlements.
Oh, some of the most beautiful country in the world right in that area.
It sure is. That's where the sun doesn't come up till 10 o'clock and it sets at 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's told that one of our relatives got put in jail for horse stealing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, back then that was a hanging offense.
Oh, boy, in a minute, yeah.
So, it was noticed that after several days in jail that one of his legs started turning gangrenous.
Wow.
So they thought for sure that he's going to lose his leg and die. So they felt sympathy for him. They went ahead and turned him out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
He got out of jail, went out and washed his legs off and left the country. He had taken a big, you know those big old copper pennies?
Yeah.
Scratched his leg, then rubbed that copper penny over that leg to the extent that it looked like that he really was in bad shape.
Oh, that's so funny.
And he got out and laughed and left the country.
My goodness, that's funny.
I tell you, well, I tell you what, a man's in jail, he can think of a lot of ways to get out, can't he?
Yeah, and you know what? It's hard for me to be critical of him.
At least he was ingenious, wasn't he?
Exactly right. I guarantee. You take care of yourself, Lauren.
Thank you, now.
I'll talk to you about it. 1-800-572-8255, Kingston, Georgia. And Jimmy, what do you say, big boy?
Hey, Ludlow. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
It's bright and sunny here.
Well, it is here, too. Looking good. Looking good.
We got a relative, he's kind of eccentric. He's got money, and we try to watch after him. He lives pretty close to us. He lives alone.
Uh-huh.
And one day we missed him, and didn't know where he had went or nothing. He a lot of times he'll get a taxi. You got a car, but he can't drive.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times he'll get a taxi and go to Rome or Cartersville or Atlanta or somewhere.
Yeah.
And we missed him all day long, and he finally come back in a taxi that night.
He'd gone all day.
And we found out where he had went. Double colas is hard to find now.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen a double cola.
And he found out that there were some in Chattanooga, so he got him a taxi, and he went all the way to Chattanooga and back in a taxi. $300 worth. He's got a little money.
How many double colas did he bring back with him?
I think he brought back 2. 2 double colas.
That's a man that needed a double cola.
I'm telling you.
That is so funny.
And he's a baseball fan, too, and he's got the trunk of his old car full of baseball bats and baseballs.
Uh-huh.
I bet you he's got $300 or $400 worth of baseballs.
What's he doing in there? Just keeps them in there?
He gets out there once in a while and tries to throw them up and hit them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, he's something else.
Sounds like he's a piece of work.
We try to watch him and make sure he don't get nothing too bad. The man's been everywhere. How are you? And he taking over to go somewhere. He's gonna go.
If they got double cola, they can expect to see him coming.
He called me last night and said, "You want to go with me with Ludlow to Ireland?" I said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "He would pay my way. He's got money.
So come go."
He would pay my way. And I told him, I said, "Ain't no way I can go because I can't afford it." He said, "Well, I'll pay your way." So he may call you one of these days.
I'll be expecting him.
Oh, okay.
You take care of yourself.
Okay.
I'll talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 1-800-572-8255. Yeah, if he's listening, the crazy uncle, if you're listening, it's 1-888-256-3044. Just kidding. We'll have some eccentrics go with us. I mean, and who knows, they may have double cola all over Ireland. I don't know that for a fact, you understand. Our number 1-800-572-8255, Ludlow and Denny, the Fun Seekers Radio Network. And a reminder of you folks in beautiful Spartanburg, we're going to be there tomorrow. Beautiful studios, WKDY. And I think it's 540 Garner Road. You see how I know those things? They just kind of came through like Mandrake. We're going to be up there having a big time. I want you to come and just drop by and visit. Good folks, they want to see you. I want to see you, so come on by and we'll fellowship with one another and sing 2 choruses of Zippity Doo-Dah. We'll be right back.
Take me away!
I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Huh? Well, you just wait. They'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm, where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to a happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to...
Why is it we never hear about the good things kids do?
As today's top stories, 2 teenagers are accused of drug-related crimes which are noteworthy.
Recent newspaper reports show that 65% of adults have a negative opinion of teenagers.
High school prom ends in tragedy tonight with 4 teenagers arrested on criminal...
A shootout downtown leaves 4 teenagers dead today. Police are still on the scene trying to identify the bodies.
It's time for teenagers to get noticed for doing something right. Get involved in crime prevention in your community. Tutor, mentor, volunteer. Call 1-800-722-TEENS to help make your neighborhood a safer place for everyone. And let's start proving everybody wrong by doing something right. Now, call 1-800-722-TEENS.
A public service message brought to you from this station, the Crime Prevention Coalition of America, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Ad Council.
My mom says we must be getting into trouble when we hang out.
My neighbors look at me funny, like I'm going to break into their car.
That saleswoman followed me around like I was a shoplifter.
This woman on the train grabbed at her bag, like I was going to snatch it.
They assume because I look a certain way I must be dangerous or something.
Just because I skateboard doesn't make me a pothead.
Not everyone who hangs out in the park deals crack.
Hey, my pants are baggy. That doesn't mean I'm in a gang.
Having a piercing does not make me a junkie.
Sometimes adults forget that they were once teenagers, and they probably hated it when people judged them, too. Teenagers can make a difference in changing how people see us. Get involved in crime prevention and help make your community better and safer for everyone. Tutor, mentor, volunteer. Call 1-800-722-TEENS to find out how you can get involved. 1-800-722-TEENS.
Let's prove them wrong by doing something right.
A public service message from the Crime Prevention Coalition of America, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Ad Council.
Number 572-8255. Let's go down to Madison, Georgia, and talk to the rock and roll weasel on the radio. Hello, Weeze.
Well, hi, good morning.
How you doing, big boy?
Doing great. How are you?
You're sounding good. You're really sounding good.
Well, hey, I am cheerful. Let me tell you
Doing
one.
a good job.
Because in the other studio that we have in our radio station here, we here at WYTH, along with our local sheriff's department, which is the Morgan County Sheriff's Department, and also one of the local newspapers, and also the one of our local grocery stores, we are teaming up to collect needy toys for the family here in the area.
How do you get all those folks in that studio?
Oh, well, hey, let me tell you, you ought to see the toys we have in the other studio.
And what are you doing? You just collecting toys and then you're going to pass them out on Christmas to needy children?
No, yeah, I think like on the like the Sunday before Christmas, the sheriff's department will be going out to the needy family to deliver these toys.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and Richards has left the building, and so I've been looking at some of the toys, and I saw some trucks. I'm thinking about maybe like opening to start playing with it. Yeah. Yeah, get them and run them across the table, go one,
Yeah, are you soliciting people to come bring toys?
Yeah, I mean,
Why don't you do it now? And you don't tell them how far away you get toys.
Because, well, hey, really, you think so?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because for anybody like cruising up and down I-20, all they have to do is just come off exit 114 and come down 441 North in Madison, Georgia, and they can drop the toys off, because we're right off 441.
Or they can call WYTH and you'll give them directions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anybody's got any toys and they want to get rid of, just tell them they can drop them off by the radio.
You want new toys, don't you?
Yeah, new toys. Yeah. But listening to the show today,
yes,
I have come to the conclusion that the word eccentric,
yes,
is a polite word of saying that you might have a, how would you put it?
Nut.
Nut, okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad you have brought that word up, because lately some of my family members have been referring to me as eccentric.
Eccentric, yes.
Yeah.
Well, why would they say that? I can't understand
Well,
that.
I don't know. I can't either. I've been trying to figure that out. I thought maybe it's a way they were trying to say I was a good person. But
I don't think so.
But I have finally figured this out after you've been talking about this today.
Well, why would they say that? I mean, what? I don't need to have any eccentric behavior.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll have to ask them about that. Probably just because of the way I like to cut up sometimes. So I'll have to ask them about that now. But now that I know what this word is referring to.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of using that word. Did they have a spell in front of you? That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, they do sometimes, yes.
The NUT is here, Herschel, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, being 38, they must think I'm eccentric or something,
And that's to do with age. Nothing to do with age.
Yeah, sometimes they try to spell words out in front of me, like They say, you want to go to the MOVIE?
Uh-huh.
And I'll say, yeah, I want to go.
Well, how about, you tell me about you got anybody in your family that fall in that category, outside of you, I mean?
Well, I was trying to think here, and right now I can't think of nobody right offhand. But if you come up with this topic again before Christmas, then I'm going to have to...
I think it's probably highly unlikely we'll do this again before Christmas.
But no. I tell you what I'm going to have to do the next few days here.
What is it?
Throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go and visit some of the family members and find out, see if I do, and I'll call you back next week.
No, I want you to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go, when you go to them, just kind of sit back and drink your coffee, a little apple cider, whatever, and watch them and see which one of them is fouled up. You got to have some nuts in your family. We all do. We all do.
Well, I just really haven't really sat down to really observe them, but maybe I'll do that in the next couple of days here.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out and visit with them and really take notes.
Went to a...
Now, we're not supposed to mention our names, are we?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like if I do find one that might be a trick or something.
Sure, yeah, call up and give their name and address.
Okay.
This wasn't my family, but it was close. I was invited to a birthday party one time, and I'm not going to say any names because you would recognize the name, pretty famous person. So his stepfather is coming along, and his mother. And his stepfather's bad to drink, but his mother is just very prim and proper and just wouldn't put up with any of that. So she told him, you can't get over there around all my family and drink. I'm just not going to put up with it. So he said, okay. And we got over there, and she got tired, and she said, I'm going to go upstairs and take a nap, and I'll see you in a few minutes. So when she went upstairs, took a nap, he went, true story, went out to his car, got a bottle of whiskey, brought it into the kitchen. Got about 10 glasses down and poured one drink in every glass, a good swallow in every glass. Then he started taking it. He didn't say a word. He didn't say, let me tell you what I'm doing, nothing. Then he put one of them on top of the bookcase, one of them inside the refrigerator, one of them behind the television. He had whiskey stored all over that apartment. And when he leave the room that she wasn't in, he'd just stop, pick that thing up behind the bookcase, take a pop, and go on. She never knew he was drinking.
And how long did this go on?
Went on all afternoon. He got drunk. Went on all afternoon. I'll tell you who it was when I see you.
Okay, but
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Good. I'll be looking forward to hearing that.
Well, you take care of yourself.
Well, hey, listen. If you and Big Denny come to Madison or something, but the next couple of weeks here, stop by and we'll play some of these toys here.
I'd love to do. You want to? Why don't you come to Spartanburg tomorrow?
Well, I would. I'll tell you what. If I could find somebody to sit in for me,
come on, we'll look for you.
Okay, you want me to get there before 12, right?
Denny says, if he comes, I'll kill him. So you might want to put on a dough face or something.
Okay, got you. And be there before 12, right?
Yeah, it's going to be all over at 12.
Okay.
I mean, for the most part. We'll still be talking and shaking hands and fellowshipping one with another.
So, would they let me on the radio up there? If I come up?
Not between 9 and noon. That's my time.
Okay.
My time.
Okay.
I talk about crazy relatives, but not about crazy friends.
Okay, gotcha.
You take care of your bad little self.
Well, hey, just remember that in the Christmas spirit,
yes,
that I still love y'all.
How about after Christmas?
I love y'all still.
Boy. All right, you take care. We love you. Take care of your bad little self. Bye-bye. Well, how could he still love us, did he? We've done everything except set fire to his feet. Ludlow and Denny on the Fun Seekers Radio Network. More conversation right after this.
Sportsman, Ike Scotch here, reminding you to tune in every Friday for the truth in sports, or possibly any good story I can fabricate here on the Ludlow Porch Show.
Hi, gang. I want to tell you about gourmet dining in the foothills of the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. Yes, sir. Gourmet dining in Jasper, Georgia. It is the more than wonderful Woodbridge Inn Restaurant and Lodge right there in Jasper. Same family, been operating it for 23 years. It is wonderful. A lot of veal, a lot of good food. You stop by there. It's gourmet dining, Woodbridge Inn Restaurant Lodge in beautiful Jasper, Georgia.
Dwayne was a pain in the town we're in. He blew up the trailer that he grew up in, burnt down the church and the junior high gym. His own mama wouldn't even blame him, but Hillary Clinton says we're to blame. She says the town ought to feel ashamed. We let Dwayne down when he needed us most. We pray for him if our church wasn't toasting such. It takes a village to raise a nut. We rebuilt the gym at the junior high school. Dwayne popped the lock with a tire tool. He blew out the windows with a pellet gun and spray painted some stuff about the coach's son. Albert Goer says he's appalled, says Dwayne needs midnight basketball. We need to spend quality time with him. We play ball with him at the gym, wasn't bolted shut. It takes a village to raise a nut. It takes a village to raise a nut. It takes tires swinging around a Pizza Hut. Takes a mama and daddy sitting on their butts. Takes a principal's office without any guts. It takes a sorry mayor and a school that sucks. Takes a lot of police and fire trucks. Takes a high school teacher who likes being kicked and cut. It takes a village to raise a nut.
All right, little sermon there. Super-did-you-da. 1-800-572-82 Yabba-dabba-doo. Could I get a yabba-dabba-doo? Spartanburg, South Carolina, my friend Jim. Hello, Jim.
Yabba-dabba-doo.
How you doing, cousin?
Cat on the beach. That's Sandy clothes. Well, I was told Denny I had my awning board out, and I'm awning my high bill overalls for tomorrow.
Good, good. Well, we don't want
to have them.
We want you to look at sharp when you get there.
Oh, yeah, suit. You wear overalls and a white shirt and a tie and a suit coat.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a country going to town, boy. Eccentric people.
Yeah.
I had an aunt back in the 40s and she had arthritis real bad, and they first come out with these gold shots, and that was the wonder cure for arthritis.
It was called a what kind of shot?
Gold.
Gold shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't know the side effects of them, and or how much you're supposed to take. You know, it's like a man sitting there with a full bottle. One drink is good, but 2 or 3 is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it affected the lady's mind, and one day she'd just be perfectly fine. The next day she might be walking out in the middle of the highway. So she wanted her husband to go to church with her.
And all that was caused by the shot? Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she wanted her husband to go to church with her, and they lived out in the country. And, well, that night he was up all night visiting with Dr. John Barleycorn. So he decided he's going to be a holy roller and just roll over the next morning.
Yeah.
So after church is over, she goes in, she comes home. She goes in there and pulls the cover back on. All right, mister, get up and put on your clothes. You wouldn't go to church. I brought the preacher to see you. She brought him home for dinner. And he never did promise her he was going anymore after that.
Well, girl had a mean streak, didn't she?
Well, yeah.
She may have needed one.
A kind and a main streak. Looking back at one of my uncles, they thought they'd found the miracle light up in the mountains, and he was just laying up there. He'd been drinking all night, and his nose was glowing.
I like Rudolph.
Oh, yes. Well, y'all get packed up and come on up here tomorrow, and we'll sit up all night with you before we'll put you to bed hungry.
We are packed. I think I think all we got to do is get off the air and hit the road. So
hit the road.
Looking forward to it. Always fun in Spartanburg. Well, it's a fun place.
Oh yeah, Sunday we're supposed to have snow.
Are you
kidding
me?
That's what they planning for us.
Really?
I've looked on the Weather Channel, and we may have that this weekend.
No, never know.
Oh yeah. Well.
All right, bud. We'll see you tomorrow.
All righty.
You take care of yourself.
Okey-doke.
Bye. Poole's Barbecue Gang, East LJ, Georgia. Need to stop by there, visit Colonel Poole, and then the Pig Hill of Fame is right there. You going to stick around in Spartanburg and wait for the snow? We might just do that. I'll take my boogie board. Our number 1-800-572-8255. We're talking about eccentric relatives, crazy, nuts, people that your grandmother and your mother were very secretive about, didn't want them to know, anybody to know that they were around, because they were crazy, and they were, I say crazy, eccentric at least, and they would say things and do things. You know who they were. Everything from uncles to aunts to cousins to brothers and sisters. Want to hear from you now. So don't chicken out at this late day. We've been talking about them. We've all fessed up except you. So get on the phone and call us. 1-800-572-8255. Also want to remind you about a wonderful possibility that is down the road for you. You need to become a cyber wacko. All you have to do is log on to the official Ludlow Porch website, www.funseekers.net, and you're instantly going to be talking to some of the nicest folks in the country, the wackos on the porch. Not only that, but you can listen to us live every day, www.funseekers.net, and you can even go back into the archives and just have a big time. Go back 90 days. Hear whatever you want to hear. Nothing is out of your possibility. Our number 1-800-572-8255, Ludlow and Denny on the Fun Seekers Radio Network.
Pele, Madonna, Lombardi, Sinatra, Liberace, Jolson, Denny, and George. Monday mornings on the Fun Seekers Radio Network.
Fun Seekers, I want to tell you about the granddaddy of all flea markets, and I'm talking about Mountaintop Flea Market and Country Mall, 6 miles west of Atala, Alabama, on Highway 278 at the 101-mile marker. Listen, every Sunday morning, but only on Sundays, 1,000 dealers display their wares over 97 acres. 1,000 dealers. Opens at 5 o'clock in the morning and goes until, but it's only on Sunday. You tell them Ludlow sent you. Beautiful day. Great day to be alive. Chattanooga, Tennessee, and my friend Judy on the radio. Hello, Jude.
Yes.
How you doing, my friend?
Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning.
I have a story for you, changing the names to protect the innocent who are still living.
All right, good.
We have a friend in Nashville whose mother had been ill for quite some time, a tragic cancer patient. She knew the end was coming, so she spent some time talking with her daughter about the funeral plans. Decided she didn't want to have a funeral. She just wanted to have just the burial, a little service there. And so she told her daughter that she had bought a dress, that she wanted to be buried in, and it was from riches or, profits or whatever. It was in the bag. Mm-hmm. So she, when she passed away then, Susan went to her mom's house, got the dress, took it to the funeral home, told the folks there that they'd like to have her mother buried in that dress.
Yeah.
The next day, the family went back, and they did want to view the body before burial, just for closure or whatever.
Yeah.
So the other sister went in with her 2 children, and as they walked in, the daughter, who was 17 years old, let out an exclamation and said, "Mom, why is Gran buried in my prom dress?" Susan had grabbed the wrong riches bag. This is a true story, Ludlow, I promise.
This would have to be true.
Had grabbed the wrong Rich's bag, taken it to the funeral home. This was a little black sequin dress with spaghetti straps.
Off the shoulder, yeah.
The woman was 87 years old. She'd had cancer for about 2 years. Of course, the funny part is that we kept thinking the men who had prepared her for burial, are calling every funeral director in the country saying, "This one you're not going to believe."
Oh, I bet the picture's still making the rounds.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, that is.
Well,
what did you do?
I beg your pardon.
What did you do?
They were so funny. The aunt said, well, she had taken the dress over there for her grandmother to see and had left it, of course, in the closet. That's how the mistake happened. So then the aunt said, well, get something else and bury her in it. And, of course, the granddaughter says, no way am I wearing that dress to the prom.
No, that was my next question.
So they decided to leave it because, the woman was so sweet and such a good sport. And they said that they thought she was probably already looking down on them, just having a wonderful laugh about being buried in a sequin prom dress.
Oh, what memories? What memories? That's.
Oh, and it's a true story, which makes it even funnier. And she was a wonderful woman, so I know she's loving her legacy now.
Oh, you can't make them up like that. That's, absolutely, that's.
Thanks so much, Ludlow.
Beautiful story, Judy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. It's the Lanier Lodge, gang. Your headquarters for your mountain or Lake Lanier trips. Williston, South Carolina. My buddy Maude. Hello, buddy Maude.
Well, hello there, Ludlow.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've been trying to get up nerve to tell you something that's happened to my late husband.
Okay.
So I just hope my children aren't listening. They're going to be mad with me.
Okay, take this.
But anyway, he was in his late 60s, and his friends, some of his friends, he were having a little card party.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing some cards, and they'd had a few drinks, and they were having fun and feeling good. So he had to go to the restroom. So he laid his cards down on the table. He had a glass eye. He'd had an accident years before.
Mm-hmm.
And so he took his glass eye out and put it down beside the cards. And he said, "You watch my cards while I'm gone. You be sure they don't touch them." So then he had false teeth then. He took his teeth out and put them beside the cards. And he said, "All right." He pointed to his teeth and said, "All right." He said, "If they touch my cards, you bite them."
And you think there's a little bit of alcohol involved in that card game, do you, Maude?
That's what I did. Well, I didn't hear that for a long time. I think he went all around town and finally one of my friends got up nerves and told me.
Yeah.
So I, of course, had to make out like I was furious. But
you must have got a little smile out of that, Maude.
I had to laugh behind his back.
Yeah, that's funny stuff.
Well, I just had to tell that.
I'm glad you did, my sweet. You take care of yourself.
Okay.
I'll talk to you. Bye-bye. 1-800-572-8255. No, if you got a glass eye, there's not much fun you can have with it. So when you find a way to make use of it, you ought to just do that and nobody will be mad at you about it. Our number 1-800-572-8255. Ludlow and Diddy, the official radio station of the 1938 Olympics. We're right here. Stay with us, gang.
Please start a song. Everybody's run. That's homecoming queen. Everybody's run.
This is the Ludlow Porch Show. It's a guy in there. On the Fun Seekers Radio Network, brought to you in part by the Woodbridge Inn Restaurant and Lodge. My mind is already in Spartanburg. And by the Appalachian Lights at Bird's Farm. But my body is still in Cumming, Georgia. The toll-free line's now open at 1-800-572-TALK. That's 1-800-572-8255. Or in Greater Atlanta, 770-205-2741. And now here's the host of the show, who I forgot how to pronounce his name.
Didn't you know? That make a great country western song title. What
was that?
My mind just left the Spartan. Is that a good one or what?
We'll start working on
it. Yeah. 1-800-572-8255. We're going to be wide open except for politics for the rest of the day. Talk about whatever's on your mind, and up to and including your crazy relatives. Let's go to Brunswick, Georgia, where my friend John hanging on. Hello, John.
Hello, Mr. Liddy.
How you doing, old friend?
Happy birthday.
It ain't my birthday.
Well, whose show am I on?
It's Ludlow.
Ludlow?
Yeah.
I was called Gordon Liddy, but I can talk to you, too.
You're Gordon
Liddy.
The G-Man, yeah. Okay.
G-Man.
Yeah, is it his birthday?
His birthday, yes.
Okay.
Mine, too. I'm an old Marine. I believe you were one.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. I went through boot camp Paris Island in 1935.
Oh, yeah. You're way ahead of me, partner.
Yeah, we didn't have about 5,000 people in those days.
Yeah.
And it was gut bucket boot camp.
Oh, yeah.
And I hear you quite often.
Well, bless your heart. We love it, and you have a happy birthday, and I'm going to let you go call G. Gordon. Tell him I said hello.
Well, I don't really need to talk to him. Thank you.
Okay, buddy. You take care of yourself.
I will.
Talk to you soon. 1-800-572-8255 is our number, Ludlow and Denny, the Fun Seekers Radio Network. We've had folks call here with the wrong number before, but we never had any G. Gordon calls. That's funny. Our number, 1-800-572-8255 is our number. And somebody wanted to know one time if we screened them very close. Oh, fun. Then you forgot to ask him, you forgot to ask him if it was G. Gordon. Funny. Our number, 1-800-572-8255. Listen, we mentioned Spartanburg with great love and affection. Tomorrow we're going to be broadcasting from our wonderful Spartanburg affiliate, WKDY up there. T.C. Lewis and the gang, and we hope that if you're in that general area within 200 or 300 miles, that you'll run by and say hello. We'll have some books for sale, but most of all, we'll just be visited and having a good time. So that's what counts. So come on by and just say hello. That's tomorrow. We'll be only at 9 a.m., off at 12. It'll be KDY in beautiful Spartanburg, and we expect to see you by there. It'll be fun. Our number, 1-800-572-8255. Ludlow and Denny on the Fun Seekers Radio Network. Let me mention again, a book package just in time for Christmas. Can I just do it till I need glasses? And nothing neat about seeing your feet, and a mouse pad. All of that wonderfulness for $35. Just make a check or money order payable to the Ludlow Porch and send it to Post Office Box 643, Dawsonville, Georgia 30534, and we'll get your books right back in the mail to you.
Niner.
That's right. We'll have more conversation. You have to wait a minute. Now, right after this is Ludlow Porch, and I want to tell you about a recent discovery I made. It's an odor eliminator. Now, I don't want you to confuse this with sweet-smelling air spray that's in your bathroom right now. I'm talking about a new kind of product called Citrus Magic. Doesn't just mask or hide odors. Citrus Magic actually dissolves odors in the air. Listen now, I said, Citrus Magic dissolves odors in the air. Odors like pet odors, bathroom odors, food odors, smoke odors. Lasts 4 times longer than the leading brand. Got a clean smell like fresh cut oranges or lemons and no chemicals. Contains only 100% natural citrus concentrates. It's wonderful. It's available right this minute at Kroger, Food Line, Buy Lowe's, Harry's Farmers Market, and other fine stores. I want you to go in and pick up some. It's called Citrus Magic. You pick this up and take it home, but while you're there, you be sure and tell them that Ludlow Porch sent you. 1-800-572-8255, Spartanburg, South Carolina. My friend Marvin. What do you say, Marv?
Good morning, Ludlow.
How you doing?
Actually, I'm up in Inman, about 10 miles north of Spartanburg.
I know right where Inman is, yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, I wanted to tell you we'll be down to see you tomorrow in Spartanburg.
Good.
I wanted to know, do you have any trivia books that you could bring along? Haven't you written some trivia books?
I've written one trivia book.
If you could, have you got any copies you could bring?
Oh, sure. I think we can bring some, yeah.
You know, you got a lot of trivia people up here in Spartanburg with Wilson, Casey, and so forth.
The name of the trivia book is, what is the name of it? Gravy Sucking Pig, yeah. Jonas, I've lost the name of the book. Was a Gravy Sucking, Jonas Wilkerson was a Gravy Sucking Pig. I couldn't get it out. So I'll bring some.
Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Oh, man, you drive carefully out there.
Okay,
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
bye. Isn't that something? Forgot that. You talking about having a senior moment? Too much coffee. Or not enough coffee, maybe. 1-800-572-8255. Let's talk to Chuck in Wartrace, Tennessee. Hello, Chuck.
This is the entertainment capital of the world.
I know that, Chuck. I've said that a million times. If you can make it in Wartrace, Tennessee, you can make it anywhere.
Exactly.
Swift Red Astaire started.
Sir?
Swift Red Astaire started. People don't realize that.
That's exactly. It won the walking horse shows, I think.
Exactly right.
Ludlow, I've been a long time fan, by the way, and I appreciate your humor and what you do. You just make the day entertaining.
Bless your heart.
I was also quite entertained by and fond of a young man that I know was near and dear to you, Louis Grizzard.
Absolutely.
And loved his books, loved his columns and everything he ever did. I only got to meet Louis one time, and it was at a gas pump in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, believe it or not. He was putting gas in. I don't remember, Luddy, if it was a T-Bird or a Continental, but I kept looking at him, and he looked at me, and I'm a rather large fella, and I kept looking, and he looked back kind of concerned, and I said, "Pardon me, sir, but do you know you just look a whole lot like Louis Grizzard?" And he said, "Well, that's what they tell me," and went ahead and confessed to being him after he saw that he didn't owe me money, I guess, and he said that he told me this story, and I'll pass this on to you. He said he's on an elevator once at the Marriott Hotel in Atlanta, and said a fella kept looking at him out of the corner of his eye and said, "You know, you look like Louis Grizzard." And he said, "A lot of people tell me that." Said that old boy said, "I bet that makes you mad as hell, don't it?" And that was the only time I'd ever met him, but he was entertaining when he pumped gas.
Let me tell you what it had to be just about a week ago. I noticed somebody stared at me, and we finally made eye contact, and the guy said, "You wouldn't be Ludlow Porch, would you?" And I said, "Not if I had a choice."
Well, I appreciate you taking the call, and like I say, I wanted to pass that on, and y'all keep up the good work.
Okay, let us hear from you on a regular basis now.
We'll do it.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. 1-800-572-8255. As we go to Cleveland, Tennessee, where the Cleaning Beauty is on board. Hello, Cleaning Beauty.
Good morning to you, Ludlow.
How's your precious little self?
I've been thoroughly entertained this morning by your calls, the ones that you got on purpose and the ones you didn't get on purpose. Oh, G. Gordon. Happy birthday, G. Gordon, wherever you are.
That's right, the G-Man.
The G-Man,
Yeah.
That's right. Just a couple things from listening this morning that I wanted to touch on. Jimmy, I think it was Jimmy who talked about his uncle that had all the money and was going to buy him a ticket to Ireland to go with you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Jimmy's uncle, if you're out there listening and Jimmy don't want to go,
We can get a crowd
somebody
together,
from Cleveland, Tennessee would love to have that ticket. My husband could fend for himself for a couple of weeks, let me tell you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And talking about, the man was talking about, or was it, I forget who it was, and I was talking about the gold shots for arthritis.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that until I started, I got a call from a lady to come and clean for her. She was a retired nurse, and she had also taken those gold shots for severe arthritis when she was a young woman, and it cured the arthritis, but evidently they told her that it caused her with the disease she finally died of, which was pernicious anemia, which evidently you don't have enough red blood cells or they won't clot.
Yeah.
I know that one time she was eating a bowl of cornflakes and cut the inside of her mouth on a cornflake and had to be rushed to the hospital. That's how bad it was.
Wow, great Scott.
And they told her it was from the gold shot. And that was totally new to me. I don't know why, but evidently it worked.
I've never
It
heard
had
of it.
devastating side effects.
Never heard of them until this morning.
Yep. Little thing about kids for you real quick.
Good.
True story, little boy, this is told for a true story anyway. The policeman said he was out with his canine unit, you know, little dog, German Shepherd. The dog was in the back of the car, and a little boy came walking along and looked in and said, is that a dog back there, mister? He said, yes, son, that's a dog. And the boy looked at the dog for a minute or so and then looked back at him and said, what did he do? I think it was in the back behind the bars, you know.
I love
behind
it.
the case. Taking him to jail. And I'm worried about somebody that I haven't heard call in a while and don't have any way to get in touch with her. I wonder if maybe somebody that knows the lady that lives in the same city, Pennsylvania, Vince, Mary, you know, from Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah.
She hasn't called in a long time. Used to be almost a daily caller, and I just kind of worry about people that she had a great sense of humor and just kind of dropped out of sight.
Yeah, maybe she's listening.
I hope so.
That happens from time to time for a number of reasons from different people.
Yeah, people's schedules change or they get sick or something like that, but I worry about people like that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And the last thing I've been meaning to tell you for 2 weeks. A couple weeks ago, I was bragging how I liked Christmas cards early, and that Mr. Completely's Christmas card was always the first I got.
Yeah.
He mailed them the day, Thanksgiving Day or the day after. Not 2 days after I said that, this is way before Thanksgiving now, I get a Christmas card in the mail from none other than Madam Zero, and I opened it up, and it says in big letters, me first.
You see, I told Diddy this morning, see what you think about it. We're probably the only two media guys in the country who specialize in the lunatic fringe.
That's true. And a wide fringe it is. We are the lunatic fringe on the blanket of life. I think we should put that on the bumper sticker.
I don't think it is. I don't think any question about it. Takes one to know one.
Well, I know it, and I got a thing from the the Happy Cooker. I sent her some kind of a funny story that she said was twisted and sick. She said there are so many twisted and sick people out in the world, and someday I hope to be their queen.
Listen, I was talking the other day about Birch Farm.
I heard you say you went last night.
Went last night. Added a lot of stuff.
Have they really?
Yeah, added a lot of stuff.
Well, we're going to have to take a drive.
Yeah, do that.
From my house, it's probably maybe a casual 45 minutes. You know, not if you don't speed too much, and just a nice drive. And like you said, 20, 30 minutes to drive through. Just an evening. It's not bad. You can get home before 9 o'clock. Get your little house shoes on.
Plus, you want to go over there to that big old bar and look around before you leave.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, we did go in last time, but didn't do a whole lot. We bought some popcorn, brought it home and popped it, and it is spectacular. It really was. We didn't have any kids to take, so we took my mother-in-law, and she was pretty thrilled. Yeah. she's like a child. She loves the pretty things, and I do too.
Well, me too. And they've got an awful lot of the same stuff and rearranged, and an awful lot of new stuff that I haven't seen before.
So it'll be new, no matter even if you went last year.
Yeah, it will. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Well, I love that. I mean, I'm not a big one to decorate myself, but I love to see what other people do.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe what they've done all that.
That's just a ton of work. I mean, that's what I saw. I thought, what if, you know how you find the Christmas lights strings, and if one bulb goes out and the whole string goes down, and I'm thinking, what if that scene of the life of Christ, one little bulb goes out and the whole thing goes dark and they have to find the bulb? Of course, I know that's not the way they are anymore, but just like you said, the lunatic fringe on the blanket of life.
You take care of yourself.
All right, I'll be listening.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, when you go over there, be sure and look at some of the things that are animated that appear to move over there, like the pumpkins growing in the field, Johnny driving his tractor. It is just absolutely beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. 2 miles of Christmas splendor at Birch Farm. Now, they're open until December the 30th, closed only on Christmas Eve. So get yourself back over there and really enjoy it. It's beautiful, and take some children. Perfect way to jumpstart your Christmas spirit. You do that, and you do it soon.
Will you ever meet that special love? Will your career change for the better? Find out today. Call the Elvis Psychic Love Line and ask the king himself anything you want about your future.
Hi. I'm going out with this guy I really care about. Will you ever ask me to marry him?
Hi, Elvis. I saw all your movies. Can you tell me if my zits will ever clear up?
The Elvis Psychic Love Line. Call today and talk to the king.
75 cents for the first 2 minutes and $2 for each additional minute under 5 minutes and $3.50 for each additional 30 seconds except on weekends and holidays with $3 for each additional minute under 5 minutes and $4.75 for each additional 30 seconds plus any additional phone company charges.
One 800-572-8255 is our number. Let's go to Spartanburg and talk to Larry on the radio. Good morning, Larry.
Hey, Ludlow. How you doing there, fella?
I'm doing good, buddy. You okay?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Now, I'm just tickled to death to find out you coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Now, Spartanburg, you know, it's what, a population about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people, something like that?
I guess.
Yeah, you know. You come to KDY.
Right.
On Garner Road, where it is, I don't know, but I'll get a little road map.
You're fine.
I will see you tomorrow.
Well, buddy, I'm going to look forward to it.
Well, you going to bring Denny away? If you do, I'll carry you over to the Beacon Drive, in.
Well, Denny be with us. Don't plan on canceling your work. We're kind of booked.
Oh, okay. But I'm going to carry you to the Beacon. You done been there.
Oh, yeah, we've been to the Beacon many times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you coming in, you know, that's sort of like Christmas coming early for me.
But you might not.
You got a stocking, you know, my stocking's full of goodies right now.
Bless your heart. Bless you. Well, I look forward to seeing you there.
Well, I'll be there. Bring me a little Tipperillo cigar, you know.
Tipperillo cigar?
Can't tell what you had one of them things one time. I met you at Spartanburg Airport. You came in for a book signing.
Okay, yeah.
Only time I met you.
I've given them up since then.
You have?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, but we'll just shake hands.
Oh, you okay? Are you bringing Swing Nancy with you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Whole gang's going to be there.
Okay.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
You have a good one now.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, buddy. Bye. 1-800-572-8255. So to all you folks that have always asked me, is Denny with you? I get asked that at church. Is Denny with you? People think that we're like Abbott and Costello, that we live together and we dine together and we're never going to without each other. So Denny will be there. The whole family will be there tomorrow. You come on by WKDY. I think that rhymes, Denny. Can you put that to music? We got a hit on our hands. I want to invite you to visit Colonel Pooh's Barbecue in East Ellijay, Georgia, gang, where you'll see the world-famous Pig Hill of Fame. Greenville, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania Vince. Hello, Pennsylvania Vince.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you. How you doing?
Everything's fine.
Good.
We're running out of November tonight.
That's exactly right.
Looking good. I don't have any news for the cleaning lady about Mary. I don't know Mary. I might someday get acquainted with her.
Yeah.
She sounds like a nice lady.
You got a good sense of humor. I hadn't talked to her in a while.
She might be a neighbor lady. You know, people don't know their neighbors like they used to.
No, they really don't.
That's really strange. I have some information from outer space.
Oh, you got about 30 seconds to hit the high spot.
Okay. Back in 1861, they put the telegraph line across the prairies all the way connected the Atlantic and the Pacific with the telegraph. Cost them $40,000. Tonight they're putting up a satellite with a new power plant for the space station at a cost $600 million. Things have changed.
This one's got white sidewalls.
You get 2 keys with it. Hey, do you know the Morse code? Did you ever use that?
No, I know what it is. I know how the need for it, but I know what it is.
Well, you don't need to bother anymore because nobody's using it now.
Really? Just when I was all set to learn it.
Yeah. Well, you have a good time in Spartanburg.
Okay, but we will. You take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you when we get back. Oh, come on by there and see us. We'd love it. 1-800-572-8255, Spartanburg, South Carolina. And my buddy Harold. Hello, Harold. How you doing?
Hello, my friend.
How's it going?
It's going great. It's looking better. We will survive.
Well, that's good. I'm kind of counting on that, Harold. I got plans.
Just read the story about the Indianapolis. We will survive.
Here.
I visited your good friend 2 or 3 times this morning. That old curly-headed guy, you know? I mean, the blonde-headed guy.
Yeah.
He's a whole lot prettier than me. But anyway, I'm going to serve you and your guests and host. In other words, Guadalcanal steak. Now, if you ain't never been there, you don't know what it is.
No, I've never been there, and I don't know what it is.
Well, anyway, I'll be there. What time are you coming in?
I'll be there at 9 in the morning.
9 in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have a surprise for you. Of course, TC don't know what it is either. It won't be very big, but it's awfully good.
Okay.
Something to eat.
Now, you know me, I just pick at my food like a bird.
Well, that's all you got to get, a little cracker with a little steak on it.
I pick at it like a...
Guadalcanal steak, 1942.
I'll be looking forward to it, Harold. I'll be looking forward to it.
Furnished by the 1st Marine Division that saved the South Pacific.
Sounds like spam.
You're lucky. Don't tell nobody that.
Not a word.
Well, it won't be fried, but it'll be good.
All right, buddy. You take care of yourself.
If you're hungry, it's awful good.
Talk to you then, Harold.
Have a good day, buddy.
All right, buddy. Thank you. 1-800-572-8255. Looking forward to meeting Harold. Williston, South Carolina, and Ed is on the line. Hello, friend Ed.
Well, how you doing this morning, little brother?
I'm doing good, big boy. You all right?
Did you and your dog here have a fight over the turkey leg? Who's gonna have it?
Oh, that's what we always do.
Anyway, this guy here was talking about what it costs for the telegraph line and how much it's gonna cost to spin the solar panel. I think that's what they're gonna put up there, for the power plant.
Yeah.
All right. How does this get you? Slick Willie went to Vietnam, and it cost the country here $50 million for him to go over there. And that don't sound too good.
Yeah, and they offered him a free trip once, and he turned it down, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what they did. But anyways, here's one I'm just curious about. It's just more or less as a joke. This guy's talking about his Uncle Riley, and they having trouble down in West Palm Beach about all this other garbage that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him who do you vote for, Al Capone Gore Jr. or Big George Bush? So that's just the kind of crack I want to make about it. Of course, I know you don't want to talk politics.
No,
I don't blame you.
You're going to stay off of that. After a while, it gets very boring. And plus, after a while, you've heard both sides, and it's nothing much new, and folks mad and fussing, and that's just not my thing.
Well, I hope everything gets straightened out, and maybe we can get back on even keel there. But
hey, listen, I got to believe this thing's going to all just bypass, and we're going to have a president and live happily ever after. I just feel positive about it.
That's right. And anyway, Harold says, because I don't know the gentleman, of course, I was born and raised up there in North Packlet. It's right up there above Spartanburg, going toward Tryon, Inman, up in that area.
I know right where Packlet is, yeah.
And I was born up there in the boondock in the 33.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, that's my birthplace up in there. Of course, my mother's from there.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he talks, it looks like you're going to have a humdinger good time. And I'm not going to be able to get there to see you up there. But y'all have a good time.
Yeah, I want you to come if you can. But if you can't, we'll catch you next time. We get Spartanburg a lot. We love Spartanburg. And we come for any kind of Any kind of excuse on earth. We've been there for the fly-ins, for the warbirds. We've been there one time when they put up a new stoplight. We watched it turn green and then red and then gray. It was wonderful. We'll come for anything, Ed.
Yeah. But every time I ever happen to go up there, it seems like Spartanburg's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, I'm afraid you're right.
And, of course, it's a big city now, though.
Oh, Spartanburg is not out in the country anymore. It used to be a wide spot in the road. That's a metropolitan area.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Well, Ludlow, you and Denny and all the rest of them, y'all have of course, now we got Christmas coming up, but y'all have a very good Christmas, and Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. And to maybe by that time, we'll all be a lot happy about a lot of other things here that we're not too happy about right now.
All right, Brother Ed.
But
you take care. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye. Number is 1-800-572-8255. That's 1-800-572-TALK. And remind you of this, too. The magic number for you to call for our Ireland trip is 1-888-256-3044. 1-888-256-3044. I know you'd like to get back and see where the relatives and the ancestors came from, the Emerald Isle, the Old Side. We're going to see it all, gang. Who knows? You might even find where some of your ancestors are laid away. So give us a call, get the information. Who knows? You might be with us. Easy as pie. 1-888-256-3044. Not leaving until May, so you got plenty of time to get all your act together, and you're gonna find you got some friends on this thing too. You got some folks that you've heard on the radio here, and some of the wackos, and it's gonna be all in all a wonderful trip. We have talked to most of these hotels to make sure everything was in line and ready to go, and Nancy's done a tremendous job on this thing, got it all put together, seeing everything fit to see while we're going to be there. So don't put it off. If not now, when? Easy, one call. 1-888-256-3044. We call that our travel line, and that'll get you through. In the meantime, our own air number is 1-800-572-8255, 1-800-572-TALK. Couldn't be a pretty day. Not a hint of any kind of rain, any kind of clouds. Just very, very pretty. So jump in here and join us. We'll be right back. Take care. Hang on. Don't go away.
Oh, he's a good soul. It's just that he's a little strange.
Strange? He's a first-rate, grade A, #1 nut. Should have been in the Laughing Academy years ago.
Gang, I want to tell you about gourmet dining in the foothills of the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. Yes, sir. Gourmet dining in Jasper, Georgia. It is the more than wonderful Woodbridge Inn Restaurant and Lodge right there in Jasper. Same family, been operating it for 23 years. It is wonderful. A lot of veal, a lot of good food. You stop by there. It's gourmet dining, Woodbridge Inn Restaurant and Lodge in beautiful Jasper, Georgia. That's one of those. I have no idea what that is. No idea what, but it's funny. 1-800. That proves my theory about punchlines. Sometimes a punchline can be funny just on its own. Let's go to Denton, Georgia, and talk to Jack. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning, Denny. How you doing? This is Ludlow.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy, and hope you are.
Oh, doing fine.
Good.
I was listening to the program yesterday, and you talking about funny names?
Yeah.
I'd like to give you some.
All right, good.
My sister-in-law, her name is Vertis. You ever heard that name?
Don't think so. V-E-R-T-I-S?
V-I-R-T-I-S.
V-I-R-T. Don't think so.
She had a sister named Mordell.
Mordell.
And another sister named Data. D-A-T-A. And a brother named Keithern.
Boy, they like the unusual names in that family, didn't they?
Then she had a brother named Claude and one named Grady. My wife, daddy was named Reppard.
Say it again.
Reppard.
Never heard it. Never heard of that one.
R-E-P-P-A-R-D.
Never heard of that one.
I know some names you had never heard. My brother-in-law, he had the middle name of Cook. It was It was his mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
And so, you know. But I don't know if you've heard what the people of Florida said.
What's that?
They said, if you don't like Florida, get on I-95 and go north to one of them other 56 states.
All right, Jack. Everything all right in Denton?
Everything's doing good down here.
Good, buddy. You come see us.
All right, bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
1-800-572-8255 is our number. It is just a fine, fine day. Jump in here and join us. Oh, I want to remind you, Birch Farm, Appalachian Lights, and it's open right now. We'll be open as soon as it gets dark. Take the family up, and be sure you take some children. You get more for your money if you got a child's eyes to look into, I promise. Let's go to Somerset, Kentucky now and talk to Too Much.
Letty, how's it going today?
How's going well, my friend? You all right?
Oh, pretty good. I'm here at work and just thought I'd give you a call. I'd heard some stories that rang some bells in my memory there.
Oh, good.
I thought I'd share some things with you.
Do it.
I really had a weird relative story to share, but I thought I'd drop some strange relative names on you here, this last gentleman.
All right.
My grandmother and her sister, twin sisters, their names, and these are women now, Phyllis Geraldine and Buford Maureen.
Wow.
So, you know.
I never heard of a woman called Buford.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
But she goes by Maureen, needless to say.
Yeah.
But her first name is Buford. My son's name is Strahd. That's S-T-R-A-H-D. He's named after, that's Romanian. It's a very, very old name, you know. And,
is that a family name?
No. I'll tell you what the deal is there is as you can imagine, I'd like to try and maintain some degree of anonymity here.
Sure, me too.
Well, let's just say that I have a name that was, you know, let's just say I caught some heavy flack over my name when I was in school, you know.
I got you.
So I wanted to make sure that my son had a powerful name. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And so we named him Strahd. He's named after Strahd von Zarovich, the first lord of Borovia, and his middle name's Alexander, after Alexander the Great. So I named him after two conquerors, so, you know, he shouldn't catch too much flack.
No, he's in charge.
Right. That was the plan.
Good plan. Good plan.
Now, the crazy relative story I got to share with you, the lady called in a little while ago about the glass eye and the false teeth playing cards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that rung a bell. My uncle, W.J., his name's William Jefferson Eldridge III, and everybody calls him Jace. Well, Jace has a glass eye, and Jace is one of these guys, you know, he always likes to mess with the little kids and pick on them and chase them around, and you know that uncle.
Yeah, oh yeah, the crazy uncle, yeah.
The crazy uncle, right, you know, that shows up about once a year, and,
yeah.
You know, the kids all love him, and the adults are glad when he's gone.
Yeah.
And, well, anyway, his favorite trick, like I said, he had a glass eye, and he always wore sunglasses. Because he said he had one good eye, and he wanted to save it as long as he could.
Bless his heart.
He always said, what was that? He always said, I'm one eye from night, he used to say.
Oh, that's funny.
And anyway, his favorite thing to do, especially to the little girls, he would come up, he'd have his sunglasses on, so you didn't know he didn't have his eye in, right?
Uh-huh.
He'd slip up on you and do the old, what's that behind your ear? And pull his eye out from behind your ear and pop it in his head while you're standing there looking at him.
You got children running all over the county.
Oh, you ain't kidding, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the girls would come unglued. Their hair would turn white, man.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean, but he'd come up to you and what's that behind your ear? And he'd pull an eyeball out from behind your ear, slip his sunglasses down, and pop it in his head, man, right there while you're looking at him. I mean...
Now, this was your mother's brother?
This is my mother's brother.
Must have been a burden to your poor lady all her life.
No, well, actually, my mom loves him to death. My whole family is a little prone to craziness, I think, you know. So,
yeah.
So needless to say, he was tolerated pretty well. But that woman with her glass eye story, that just reminded me that I had a glass eye story I wanted to share, too. And,
that is funny.
I'm going to get back to work,
Okay,
Letty,
go ahead, go do it, and I'll talk to you soon.
Life is as fun as you make it, Letty.
Ain't that the loving truth?
See you, buddy.
Talk to you.
Bye.
1-800-572-8255, Stone Mountain, Georgia. My buddy Don on the radio. What do you say, Tiger?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Good, good.
Mama's doing even greater.
All right.
But I got to tell you a quick story. We were playing golf with another couple on the 5th of this month.
Uh-huh.
And on our 8th hole, it's par 4. She hit a good drive. took out a little 7-wood, hit it, took 2 bounces, went in the hole for an eagle. Net 0. So I think she's getting better.
You're foolish to play with her, Don. She's only going to embarrass you.
She beats me all the time.
Yeah.
Well, we got the papers sent in to go to Ireland.
All right. We're going to love this one, man. We're going to love it, 'cause I guarantee you and I have more fun just sitting, rocking, and staring.
That's right. And we sorely missed going last year in the Scandinavian thing, but she wasn't up there.
Well, Mother Nature going to have her way, and she's been good to us since then, so I'm not going to fuss about it.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
You can tell Nancy that we're all signed up.
All right. Bless your heart.
Well, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
A great Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Very quiet, very traditional, just sitting around talking to the children, you know.
Yeah. I told Denny that one of these days we try to go up to Bentry to see my son and his wife.
Yeah.
We're going to try to stop by and see you all there.
Oh, boy, I'd like that.
In the morning.
I'd love that. Come on anytime.
Okay, doke.
All right, bud. Take care of yourself, and listen, don't play too much golf with that woman. She'll wear you out.
Oh, I tell you, I enjoy it, though.
I know it. You take care. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you, Bye-bye. 1-800-572-8255. One of the finest couples on this planet. Just as much in love, right? Been married over 50 years, much in love right now as the day they walked down the aisle. And what decent, wonderful people. I love them both. Listen, gang, I want to talk to you about RCS. Are you interested in buying any gas logs? These folks have season special going on right now. Their homestead logs feature realistic bark patterns and realistic color. Lifetime warranty on high-quality ceramic logs. Single, double burners allow you to choose your look. Safe, and they produce heat and can be burned for hours. To tell you the facts, gas logs are one of the smartest investments I ever made. So for the showroom nearest you, you call these good people, 770-426-0808. You tell them I told you to call, and you get 10% off. 770-426-0808. Call them today. Are we having fun now? I guarantee you. 1-800-572-8255. Beautiful Hartwell, Georgia, and George on the air. Hello, George.
Hey, Ludlow. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my pan. You all right?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I was just listening on the radio in the car and heard this gentleman talk about Morse code being obsolete.
Yeah.
And you said you were just about to learn it. Well, it's not obsolete because it's an international Morse code.
Yeah.
You can talk to a foreigner on Morse code where you can't talk to them on voice radio.
That's I never thought about that, but that's absolutely right.
Yeah, the military's all quit using it, but I'm an old CW operator, and I never got into the ham radio, but they do use the Morse code.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I think you have to be pretty proficient at the Morse code to get your ham license, don't you?
Well, you can get it something like 12 words per minute.
Yeah.
But I have at one time been a point-to-point operator on Guam and a high-speed operator, so I wouldn't have any problem there.
No, not at all.
About 30 words a minute. So.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Uh-huh. But it is still used in that language, in that area, because you can talk to a foreigner.
Yeah.
And it's, talk their language in Morse code.
You know what I think, and I believe this from the bottom of my heart? I think all knowledge is useful. I think if I learned how to do that, it would be a wonderful thing if I never used it.
Yeah.
If I just knew how to do it.
Well, it's a second language.
Yeah, sure.
I just wish I could use it more. It became more or less obsolete for me when I got out of the service, but it was quite interesting while I was in there and used it,
And that's where you learned it in the military?
Yeah, I'm an old, what you call on ham slang is a diddy-dum-dum-diddy. That's a IMI in code. Diddy-dum-dum-diddy. Enjoy and listen to the program.
George, you take care and come see us when you get a chance.
Thanks a lot.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Diddy-dum-dum-diddy. That's what that doo-wah, that thing we have. You got a great record that does that doo-wah. That's just Morse code for, yeah, let's get it. Yeah.
There she was, just walking down the street singing.
I think that's Dirty, Diddy. Play a little bit of it. That's what.
She looked good, she looked fine, she looked good, she looked fine, and I nearly lost my mind before I know it.
1-800-572-8255, Ludlow and Diddy. Now, people ask me, how did he come up with that stuff that fast? I don't know. He never seems to be in any great hurry, never spills anything or knocks anything over, but he's always got the appropriate music. It's a little spooky. It really is. Our number 1-800-572-8255, 1-800-572-TALK. Somebody asked me, and I've been meaning to do this for a couple of days, to put on the air the place where you get the rare records. They had one. And this particular person was not sure who the artist was. I think you're going to be in trouble if you don't know who the artist is, but if you know who the artist is and you got an idea what the title is, you can call an outfit down there in New Orleans called Jim Russell Rare Records. Jim Russell Rare Records. I've had a bunch of these over the years. This is the only survivor. But you can give them a call. And they found an awful lot of stuff. Area code is 504-522-2602. 504-522-2602. That's Jim Russell Rare Records. And more often than not, they have exactly what you are looking for. If you want to buy some malls of it bread, I've got it down here too. This is my jot them down on a card and keep them forever stuff. So in any event, there we go. Our number 1-800-572-8255. I want to remind everybody that we are on our way. We're going to be, and before you know it, we're going to be in beautiful Spartanburg, South Carolina. We're coming up, and we're going to be the guests of our more than wonderful affiliates, what people they are, WKDY. So we're going to have a good time, and bring in some books. So if you're looking for a Christmas present, and you got $7,000, $8,000 you want to invest in, but come on out there. Teasing. We'll have a good time. We'll see you there tomorrow, so come on by. Good people, and we're excited about being there. I'm excited about being on that radio station, as a matter of fact. Come on by and see us. And between now and then, you do me a favor. Whatever else you do today, you find somebody to be nice to.